we head to the mountains of Pocono, Pennsylvania, where tonight the In the Pits News Truck Series stars and Tyler Watermullen will take on the 10th race of the season at the Tricky Triangle. We welcome you to Pocono Raceway for tonight's race, the 10th race of the season, as was mentioned. This is the Mardon 150 here at Pocono. I'm Dustin Allen. As always, joining me in the booth for these races, Adam Kuhn. Adam, welcome.
Thanks, Dawson, and welcome to Pocono. It should be an exciting race tonight. First time I think we have come to Pocono in the BSR League for the In the Pits News Truck Series, so it should be a different show tonight around this 2.5-mile, three-turn speedway, so it's going to be all kinds of different, tricky twists for these guys tonight.
Yeah, indeed it is the first time that we will see racing here at Pocono for the stars of the In the Pits News Truck Series and Tyler Watermullen. So looking at that, we talk about it, 10th race of the season. Go ahead and get that schedule pulled up here for you. You can see there we've completed 9 races thus far as we head into Pocono tonight. Darlington next week. Then we have the doubleheader at Talladega. A 2-week break leads to Michigan. And then we go to the Charlotte Roval and we close out the regular season at Atlanta. Still a bit of ways away, January 21st. But even then, it doesn't feel like it's a bit of ways away because that's just only a little over a month away. So as we get you to the end of practice, just about 3 minutes left to go. And right now, the fastest car, we've seen this a lot here this season, David Durand, currently sitting the top of the board. It's been a pretty interesting performance from the 24. At least in practice and in qualifying, he has done a fantastic job this season. Very much a turnaround from what we saw before. But he's kind of fallen off a little bit here in recent weeks, trying to finish these races. It's just not been able to go his way.
No, it hasn't. He luckily has that win at Daytona, though, so he is pretty safe in terms of making the playoffs when they do start in just over a month's time, like you mentioned. But yeah, he was able to get a top 10 last week in Kentucky. But you mentioned rough goes Nashville walk-in, so trying to rebound with that and get some momentum heading his way. He led a ton of laps at Nashville. I believe he won the stage from the pole position, so it just wasn't the result he needed. He started outside pole last week, so led a bunch of laps there also in Kentucky, so he just needs to get the result he deserves, really, in the way he's been running.
And you mentioned that he won the stage at Nashville. He led 62 laps, but in the end he came up short as it was Michael Kruger who was able to take the win away for what was his second win in a row. And speaking of Michael Kruger, we talk about a driver going through a slump. How about a driver who's been able to rebound it? Michael Kruger. Looking at his stat line throughout this year, he started the year off 19th at Daytona, 16th at Phoenix, and then he got to the 3rd at Charlotte, and after that he's right off a top 10 every race since then, including those 2 wins at Watkins Glen and then Nashville, and then of course that 5th place finish at Kentucky 2 weeks ago. So talk about a guy who's kind of starting to hit his stride and at the right time to do so. Currently sits 2nd in points. He really needed a good race, and he was able to put together a good race. And so right now he sits just 19 points behind Jonathan Parker, who is currently our points leader. He is 4th fastest in this practice session. There he is in that 81 machine. Making his way down, I believe, the long pond straightaway. No, actually, that is the short chute heading to turn 3. But, we see it. We saw it last year with Michael Kruger as well in that position. He came in as a hot-shot new guy. And had a fantastic run there through the start of the season. But then he kind of dropped off a little bit and faltered. And I wouldn't say we're really seeing it with Jonathan Parker because he has finished top 10 in all but one race where he finished 11th at Phoenix. So he's been able to be up there. He's led laps at all but one race this season, that being Charlotte. So definitely going to be one to watch tonight for sure. But right now sitting 4th fastest behind the Durand brothers and Michael Kruger.
Yeah, Jonathan Parker is going to be the guy to watch out tonight, I think, in my opinion. He has tons of reps around this track in all kinds of different games and simulators over the years. And this used to be his home track. He's moved now down south, but this is one of the wheelhouse tracks when I think Jonathan Parker, and he's going to be up there all night tonight, I think, if he can keep it safe. And that 4th place position right now in practice, I think, is just a sign of things to come tonight.
Yeah, indeed, I think it is. And, you know, we're just talking about all these different drivers, all these different stat lines. You know, we're going to have a couple more later on in tonight's race. We'll kind of highlight some of the things we've seen out of these drivers as their careers, as the season has gone on, as we're hitting the 10th race of the season and just 5 seconds left in practice until we begin qualifying. So, you know, we're really seeing how this is all shaping up to be um, in terms of everything going on being the 10th race of season 3. So plenty of stats to go around here for this season as we hit the end of practice heading into qualifying. So with qualifying underway, let's look and see who we got on track right now. I believe Michael Kruger is one of the first ones rolling off of pit road. Indeed he is. We will go and follow his qualifying here as we look to get things going. So heading down that long pond straightaway, of course, the way Pocono is, it is that very weird triangle, as I like to say, with 3 very different corners. And it very much can throw drivers. You see Kruger sliding the back tires there through the tunnel turn, heading down to the short chute into turn 3. Definitely just trying to get it warmed up, ready for his first lap. He'll run the top right here, try to get as much momentum off the corner as he can. And I believe he'll be the first driver to get out there and start his qualifying. So we'll follow him around the track. Of course, for some reason, Pocono does not have a track map. I would think they would have had a track map here for ATVO, but apparently not. So we'll watch him go around the circle on the bottom, the triangle on top. Just a mishmash of shapes here as we get qualifying underway. Kruger is the first one out. I believe back there Nathan Fuller is also out. Brett Bennett, Andrew Elias, Justin Duran, Alonso Chicano are all on their first lap. Another driver has just started his first lap too. It looks like it's Ethan Fonseca Moreno. But Michael Kruger, of course, heading down into turn 3 to complete his qualifying lap. So he'll cross the line as the first driver to cross the line. Right now, a 54.329 is what Michael Kruger has put down. We'll see a couple more drivers put some lap times down here. Looks like Nathan Fuller with a 59.497. I see a 54.488. I believe that's Brett Bennett. 54.457 for Andrew Elias. 54.270 for Justin Duran will put him on the pole as of right now. And Chicano, Alonso Chicano with a 54.482. That slots him in 4th as they run. See some more drivers out on track. Dalton Kelly, David Duran now starting up there for something. Michael Kruger just clobbered the wall. Michael Kruger has wrecked it off of turn 2. And that will put an end to his qualifying efforts. A hard wreck here in qualifying is going to take Michael Kruger's lap and invalidate it. That's going to knock him out of the hunt for the pole. But right now, we'll pan it over to Justin Durand, who is currently your provisional pole sitter, as he makes his second lap heading down into turn 3. Adam, what did you see happen there with Michael Kruger?
Looks like he just pushed wide off of turn 2 there, Dawson. I didn't really get a good look at it, but he clobbered the inside wall when he finally came to a rest. And like you mentioned, big crash, but just a small little mistake out of Michael. And we've seen that a lot in this practice session, just before just guys getting in that wall. And when they wreck you, it's big wrecks. Now we take a look at Noah Mayuri getting ready for his qualifying lap. Rare appearance for him in the Pit News Truck Series, but glad to see him. And he always has a lot of speed, especially in the qualifying sessions. He and his teammate Zach Probst, but they just can't ever click the races together. This racetrack, wide spread out. I think this could be a track that he finds a little bit of success here tonight.
Hey, you say a weird start. This is only his 3rd start of the season. He made a start back at Dover in Las Vegas. He did not end up running Vegas, actually, I should say. He disconnected pretty early on, only completing 36 laps after being sort of in an incident. And then he finished top 10 at Dover a couple weeks ago. So he is definitely looking to rebound and have a good race here tonight at Pocono. Right now, third fastest for that driver, the 8 machine. We'll have to see what he can do here for that Peak Performance Motorsports number 8 Ford F-150. But looking up there at the top of the board, it shouldn't be a shocker. Jonathan Parker is currently sitting on the pole right now. He is our current pole sitter. We're going to see if anybody can try to top his lap. Right now, one of the drivers out there looking to do it, Noah Mary. Matthew Stotts is out there as well. I believe Brian Smith is making his second qualifying lap as well. Mary coming out of 3. Going to take the checkered flag on his qualifying attempt. It's going to put him, this last time by, a 54.639, so a slower lap. Unable to improve. We're going to see who else may be out there setting a lap. I believe that 59 of Joshua O'Connor is currently out running his lap as well. Actually, looks like they advanced the session. They might have had qualifying a little too long, 10 minutes instead of 5. So that looks like that's going to do it for qualifying. Very abrupt, but we got an end to the qualifying. And just like that, we are ready to grid and ready to go. So when we get up here, it's going to be time to look through your starting lineup as the field takes the grid. So as you see him sliding up on pit road, we're going to take a look at your Mardon Technologies starting lineup. Starting on the pole tonight, Jonathan Parker. Alongside him in outside row 1, I should say, is Justin Durand. In row 2 is Noah Mary and Matthew Stotts. Row 3 sees Michael Kruger and David Durand. And then row 4 is Ethan Fonseca Moreno and Brian Smith.
Andrew Elias is going to start in 9th, sharing the 5th row with Alonso Chicano, the reigning series champion. Behind them in row 6 is going to be Brett Bennett and Nathan Furler. Cameron Caldwell and Alexander Kuffin going to make up the 7th row, with Dalton Kelly and Joshua O'Connor in row 8.
See back there, I see a name that's pretty familiar. Jason Gracias, he is on the grid. It looks like he's going to grid maybe. If he does, it'll be 17th for him. Ryan Bogey to his outside. There we see the 19th position is supposed to be Matthew Tolster, but he is going to admin this race. He will not be participating. But to his outside, a returning Wesley Rose making his season debut tonight. And then rounding out the field, it's the 68 of Tyler Watermoen, of course, and the 42, Josh Coppernoll of JCTV. Starting out there in 22nd. And that will be your starting grid presented by Mardon Technologies for all your PC needs. Check out mardontech.com or download the app, available on the Google Play and the App Store. So as we look through the field here, everybody getting ready, lined up, ready to go. 2 drivers yet to make the grid. Actually, it looks like we see one on the grid that's just bugging out there. I see Watermoen's truck back there, but he's not showing up as on the grid, which is kind of weird. It looks like we're getting ready to roll here. Very big track here, Pocono Raceway is, and it's going to lead to some excitement. Of course, the first time that these drivers will do battle here at the Tricky Triangle. So as they begin the slow, quiet roll off of pit road, these engines will roar to life once we get things going. But first, let's take a look at some of our onboard cameras for tonight's event. Looking at the first one here, of course, defending series champion Alonso Chicano with the Celsius Live Fit onboard camera, rolling off 10th. And then how about right behind him as well, the 47 of Brett Bennett. He is going to be piloting that number 47 Streaming Stats Ford F-150, but with the Smeel onboard camera. And then looking further ahead, further behind I should say, it's going to be Cameron Caldwell starting 13th with the C2 graphics on board camera. And then way back in the back, if we get anything out of him, because obviously it doesn't look like the game wants anything out of him, Tyler Watermoen with the Pepsi on board camera. And so those will be your onboard cameras we'll have if we even get one out of Watermoen. Keeps disappearing on us and reappearing on us, and all of the sorts. So 60 laps is gonna be the event. 60 laps of racing here tonight. Stage caution gonna come at lap 15, so it's definitely gonna be just a pushing all out here on that set of tires to get to the stage end. Who do you have to win tonight, Adam?
I'll pick the low-hanging fruit. I said it in the practice segment. Jonathan Parker is going to be the man to beat, I think, tonight.
You say Parker. I go different. I think Justin Duran's going to follow that hot streak, and he'll be able to get his second career win. Green flag is flying. We are racing here at Pocono. See trouble back there for one of the cars not going. I believe that's Wesley Rose in the 80, but the field storming into turn 1 for the first time, up to speed. Going to try the exit. He's going to get blocked by Parker. Parker is going to hold on to the race lead down the long pond back straightaway. They are 4 wide, a little bit further back here. All around, it looks like it was Brett Bennett, Alex Kerfin, maybe Alonzo Chicano and Dalton Kelly. We're thinking about it. They're going to be 3 wide heading to the tunnel turn with Cameron Caldwell to the inside. Caldwell's going to make the pass, make it work. And you see them shoot through, flying through the tunnel turn as they head down to turn 3. Jonathan Parker out front. A lot of tight racing in this pack here. Durant is all over his back bumper, wants to go to the race lead.
Durant is right there. He's peeking to the inside of Parker going into turn 1. There's racing all throughout this pack. Matthew Stott took the 3rd position from Michael Kruger, and here comes Justin Durant to the inside of Parker for the lead in turn 1. He's going to make that pass stick.
Move further back, Brett Bennett trying to make a pass. Notice Jason Gracias looks like he's having issues blinking in and out there. He disappeared, and he has now reappeared, currently scoring in the 16th position. So connection issues for the race that you see. Michael Kruger just made a pass work through the tunnel turn. He just got by Stotts without any issue, but there's still a battle for the race lead going on. Still fighting hard as Jonathan Parker trying to come back up to the front.
Stott's truck got very upset from that pass by Kruger in turn 2. You mentioned it, and David Durant looked to the inside of Stotts through turn 3. Couldn't make it work with Stotts running that higher line, was able to carry that momentum, but that 17 truck was wobbling all over the place off of turn 2 last time by. And here we see Norm Aerie on the outside, way wide in turn 1.
Oh, spinning wrecking! Cameron Caldwell sideways, spinning around! Caution is going to fly for the first time tonight. Contact made, sent the 12 around in turn 1. The field fanning out up ahead, and the caution flies here on lap 3.
On the right side of Alexander Kerfin also completely scuffed up, so teammates there in turn 1, maybe a lot of contact. Can't really obviously see him back going. Doesn't look like he's got a lot of major damage, Dawson.
Let's see what happens. This is coming through turn 3, heading to the front stretch. I think he might have had some contact with Kerfin in the 30. It looked like it's what it might have been. We'll have to look and see what happened heading down this front stretch here, heading into turn 1. Oh yeah, Kerfin missed the bottoms, washed up a little bit. There was contact between him and Caldwell. Luckily, nobody else involved in that, just those 2 drivers. Getting dusted up in that one, but drops Caldwell all the way back to 21st now. And we'll put him at the tail end with some damage now to that 12 machine. Not been a pretty season for Cameron Caldwell.
No, it really hasn't in terms we've come to expect to him 3 seasons into this league. Obviously the season 1 champion, a great success last year with a couple of wins, but this year you mentioned he has 4 top 5s and a runner-up finish, but he really hasn't had the speed we've seen out of him. He hasn't led a ton of laps this season, and it's just really been a strange season, like you mentioned. He's only led 65 laps so far this season, Dawson, so he hasn't been up front a lot.
Yeah, and you would think, hearing someone talk about someone like that, you'd think, oh, a bad season, he's wrecked out of every race, he's not done anything. He's finished top 10 in pretty much every race except one race that he's running, that being Daytona. But what we've come to expect out of Cameron Caldwell is we've expected this very good performance, this very almost dominant performance, and we just haven't seen that yet. But I see some guys coming down pit road, it looks like. Looked like Chicano was leading the charge down pit road. Looked like Dalton Kelly might have faked it. Chicano faked it as well, but of course, Kerfin, Gracias, and Caldwell going to pull up pit road. Kerfin and Caldwell with damage, and Gracias might be going because of the connection issues.
I wouldn't have been too shocked to see some guys after pit though. You mentioned the stage is going to come to an end here at lap 15, so a very brief segment here tonight, and it's going to be uh, very interesting where the fuel mileage is going to line up for that last stage all the way to the end, because it usually does in this race in real life.
Yeah, it's really going to play a factor on how you can benefit from this first stage. Of course, the top 8 finishing positions this stage get points. So right now, that's Justin Durand, Jonathan Parker, Michael Kruger, Matthew Stotts, David Durand, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Noah Mary, and Andrew Elias. Currently rounding out the top 8. So the field continues to pace here. Of course, these pace laps so long because of that long track. And while we got some downtime, I want to give a quick shout out to a driver in the league. Shouting out Jeremy Richmond. Of course, he's not here with us tonight. He probably won't be here for a couple races. He recently had some issues. I believe he hurt his knee. He had a right knee internal derangement and a low leg fracture, which sounds nasty. But Jeremy, I don't know if you're watching or not, buddy, but we're all hoping for you to get back out on the track and race. We see the juice cone taking place as we talk about that. Get well soon. Jeremy, you see Durand taking the top, Parker to the bottom, Stotts, Elias, Chicano all going to go to the bottom with him. There's Dalton Kelly, Brett Bennett, and Ryan Bogey all choosing the bottom. Gracias chose the bottom as well, as did Alex Kerfin. Up on the top, it's Justin Durand, Michael Kruger, David Durand. I believe that's Egan Fonseca Moreno and Noah Maori up top.
Yeah, and to pick up from where you left off at, where Jeremy Richmond, he had a very decent season going. He was in the top 8 in points, had some pretty good runs to start off the season. At Daytona, I believe he had a 4th place finish, and he just has some very misfortunate luck since then, and carrying off the track too, like you mentioned. And another shout out real quick to Ethan Moreno, who lost his dog this morning. He's running the dog's name over his door tonight, Luigi, so wishing him the best tonight, getting over this, and hopefully a good performance there.
Yep, so far so good. Top 10 run right now, sitting 7th for Luigi. So the field coming down the short chute, heading for turn 3. We'll get the green flag with 9 laps to go in the stage. Parker, Durand still the front row. This time, though, Durand controls the field. Row 2 is Matthew Stotts and Michael Kruger. Then David Durand, Andrew Elias, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Alonso Chicano, Noah Maori, and Dalton Kelly. That's how the top 10 are sorted out right now. So the pace truck is going to hook it left. Head down pit road, leaving the field in the hands of Justin Durand, who will take us back to the green flag. We're back racing here at Pocono. Parker on the inside, going to try to clear as fast as he can. He's going to have to do so if he wants to make this run work on the back straightaway. As of right now, he's going to clear. He will pull out to the lead, but Durand trying to peek to the inside. He's going to make the move to the inside, trying to set him up for the tunnel turn. Matthew Stott's going to follow behind him. Michael Kruger going to dive down as well. That might help Durand heading into the tunnel turn. Battling for the race lead still. Looks like Durand might be able to pull up and clear. Indeed, he will. Justin Durand takes back the race lead from Jonathan Parker.
Top 5 all single fire through turn 3.
Whoa,
Andrew Elias.
Durand got wicked loose there. Didn't mean to cut you off, but man, he was just about sideways on the front straightaway off of 3.
Oh, absolutely. Here comes Parker diving into the inside. So is David Durand on Matthew Stotts. That's for 4th, but for the lead. Parker back into turn 1.
Parker running the bottom. Michael Kruger trying to follow him. Duran's going to slide up in front of Stotts and take the 4th position. A very aggressive move by David Duran, but I wouldn't expect anything less out of him. He is a very hard-nosed driver and will push for everything he can get, but right now that outside lane is chugging along, trying to make work of Jonathan Parker. Duran leading the field. Kruger right there in 2nd. Here comes David trying to make a move on Michael Kruger for 3rd. Kruger working the top, trying to make it work around Parker. You see kind of shuffling around back in the back of the field as they cross the line for lap 9.
Parker just a sitting duck on these long straightaways. All of these trucks just slipstreaming on the outside lane. Michael Kruger with a huge run and going to take advantage of it with a huge push from David Duran to make the move on Justin Duran at the end of the straightaway.
They'll be able to pull up and clear, but Justin can try to set him up for the same pass he did. Michael Kruger's going to block it. Duran's going to dive low. Battle is heating up for the race lead. Here comes Duran back to the inside of Michael Kruger, trying to battle through the tunnel turn for the race lead. Parker clears for 3rd, still pushing side by side for the lead. Duran on the bottom, Kruger up top, Parker right there in 3rd. He's following the 14 machine, but coming through 3 and 4, Kruger's going to be able to try to lead this lap, and he'll get the run off the corner. Michael Kruger has now taken the race lead, and he'll lead a lap. You see 2 cars in the wall in the back. That was Noah Mayuri, and I believe that was the 59 of Joshua O'Connor, but you see them keep fanning out, trying to break the draft for everything they can. This is only lap 10 of a 60-lap race, and they are driving like it is the final lap, Adam.
Absolutely insane at the early part of this race. You mentioned it, Justin Duran with a peek to the inside of Kruger in 1. Couldn't make it stick, shattered the front tires, it looks like. Had a challenge off Parker on corner exit, and Kruger is just defending for his life right now.
Buried it in the wall back there. Noah Mayuri did, and they're wrecking behind just about. That was Watermole and Coppernoll. How they saved it, I do not know, but Mayuri hit the wall. He was so slow there, and he slowed up the field. And now you see Michael Kruger is starting to pull away.
I wonder if something happened to Parker there in that same time, because Kruger gained a 7/10 of a second lead nearly over him at that moment, while both the Durans are right up on that 81 trying to make a pass happen. We just saw the E of Noah Mayuri coming into the pits after that big damage. Contact with the wall. He got on the wall, both off of turn 1 and turn 2 that last lap, Dawson, and I think he's going to be done for the night with a lot of damage to that 8 truck.
When he buried it off of the wall of turn 3, I thought that was just a hit, but then he hit again on the Long Pond backstretch there, and he rolled that wall pretty much the whole backstretch away. And you saw him stack up behind him. It was Tyler Watermole and Josh Coppernoll. They stacked up behind him. They were able to recover, but Mayuri was not. I believe that number 8 machine might just be done for the night.
He was one of the first trucks had to have gone way up by the wall. Another one in the wall.
Elias that time.
He may have kissed it. That wasn't a big slap, but he's going to have to defend on Alonso Chicano now. But real quick, back on Mayuri, he was running the high line in every corner of this racetrack, and he was making passes work by doing it too, but it just bit him too many times.
Yeah, once you go up there, you really got to play it strategically. Make sure you don't just keep clobbering the wall. And you see Kruger trying to break the draft in the backstretch up ahead. Just fans it all the way out and all the way back down, trying to keep Parker from gaining on him. But it's just not going to work, because here comes Jonathan Parker with David Duran in tow. When they hit the stripe, it'll be 3 to go in the stage.
Back to that fight for 7th, Chicano got that over Elias, and now Kelly is side by side with his teammate for that final spot in the points. And Elias is coming to pit road.
Elias maybe making a strategy call. If he pits here and stays out on the stage break, he'll be able to lead a lap. But you see there, here comes a move for the lead. Jonathan Parker driving to the inside in turn 1.
Made the slipstream perfectly there to get to the inside of Kruger at the end of the straight. There he is off of turn 1 and able to keep side by side with his 14 machine going to the Long Pond straightaway.
Yeah, fighting for this position, fighting for the lead. If he can get it, Parker trying to lead some more laps here. He's led the most laps so far this season. Why not lead a couple more tonight? He's already led the first lap, trying to lead some more, but now he's under fire from David Durand. Things have kind of settled down a little bit more with just 2 laps to go in the stage, but the battle's still heating up between the brothers Justin and David for this 3rd position. Parker is still chasing Kruger for all he's got, and right now the 8th position belongs to Dalton Kelly. Kruger doing everything he can to break this draft. And then you see there David Durand just kind of riding it steady as much as he can. He's just waiting for them to take each other out pretty much. Justin Durand sitting 4th right now in the C2 graphics onboard camera. They cross the stripe this time. It'll be the last lap in stage number 1. In the stage, I should say. We don't have multiple. We just have the 1. So it is going to be a fight for it. Here comes David Durand to the inside of Jonathan Parker.
David did a phenomenal job snaking to the inside of Parker down the front straightaway, but he was not able to keep that truck on the inside through turn 1 and able to keep that machine there, and Parker was able to have a phenomenal exit. He is setting up Michael Kruger for a pass in turn 2.
The way they shuffle around, they can't get it all together, but you see there's a battle for position. Ethan Fonseca Moreno making a move for 4th. He's going to pass Justin Durand, as David Durand battles for the 2nd spot. Coming into turn 3. David Durand side by side with Jonathan Parker. That's going to hold them up enough and maybe help Kruger. Indeed it will. David Durand on the inside. Parker on the outside is the battle for 2nd, but coming to the line this time, the stage win is going to go to Michael Kruger, which is vital for him to get these points over Jonathan Parker. But Parker will get 2nd. Durand 3rd. Moreno 4th. Justin Durand 5th. We'll have to see how it shakes out there. I believe Chicano 6th. Matthew Stott 7th. And Dalton Kelly is going to go 8th. So with that stage win for Michael Kruger, I'm not too sure how many stage wins that is this year for him, but a very good job out of that 14 team to cut in some points, even if it's just 1.
Would be the 14 truck's 3rd stage win on the season after Daytona and Watkins Glen.
3rd stage win this year for Michael Kruger. So the field cycles back around. They're going to catch up to the pace car. Everything gets sorted out here, but one thing for sure at least is that Michael Kruger was our stage winner. Jonathan Parker 2nd, David Durand 3rd. Looks like Fonseca Moreno got there to 4th over Justin Durand at the line. Alonso Chicano is 6th. Matthew Stott's 7th. And Dalton Kelly scores that 8th and final point. There you see Michael Kruger, stage winner here at Pocono. So they'll cycle all around, get everybody caught back up, and get ready to go for tonight's race. For the rest of this race, I should say. For tonight's race, we're already racing. So, as they come around here through the tunnel turn, they'll head the short chute down to 3, and they will make their pit stops. For the first time here tonight for some. For others, it might be their 2nd stop. So there you see all the field going to come down pit road, of course. But there will be one that stays out. That's for sure. One driver is not coming down pit road today, and that's going to be Andrew Elias, who is going to stay out. And it looks like somebody else stayed out too, actually. Cameron Caldwell staying out, of course. Had to pit after getting that damage on that first caution. So he stays out. There's Noah Mayuri back on track, currently scored a lap down. So what could have very well been his free pass is not going to work. Actually, he'll get free pass, excuse me. Right now, we're going to pan back to pit road and watch this battle coming off of pit road. We'll see how it happens. But there you see Jonathan Parker, the first stall. Looks like Michael Kruger's going to win the race off pit road. Ethan Fonseca Moreno a little loose there. Justin Duran third. Moreno fourth. Chicano fifth. David Duran to sixth. Stott seventh. I believe Bogey came out eighth. Then it was Brian Smith, Brett Bennett, and Dalton Kelly. You see O'Connor taking a bit of a longer stop to get the rest of his damage repaired. But that first stall coming in handy there for Parker, able to come out second still behind Kruger. But you see the top two right now, Andrew Elias, Cameron Caldwell. Caldwell stayed out that time after pitting earlier on after that first caution. And Elias, of course, pitting before the stage ended. So there you see Caldwell's going to pull down pit road. Might have just stayed out for the lap lead, but that'll also get the lead now to Andrew Elias off of the choose. So this very well could play a factor on this restart with the 44. He's only got about maybe 2 lap older tires, if even. Or 6 laps actually, but it'll be about maybe 2 or 3 laps from green condition. So we'll see how this all shakes out here.
Well, hey Michael, congrats on that stage win. Real quick before you go green, you're going to be starting on the outside here. What do you have expectations for this restart?
I just got to get on down there and get the high side rolling to build momentum off turn one to try to get clear of Andrew here and cut away with the lead here and get the clean air as soon as I can.
How about that first 15 lap stage? You were able to hold off, yeah, you were able to hold off Jonathan Parker for that stage win in a very, very dramatic battle up there with all you guys contesting for that win.
Yeah, I was just digging really hard for that stage win, trying to build playoff points, and I made an aggressive move, sit really tight to go inside of Justin to turn one and try to defend a little bit on the inside down the Long Pond straightaway, heading into turn two, and try to roll it up top and defend to hold position there. I mean, I was stressed out of my mind there at the end there.
Good luck here as we get ready to go green.
Thank you, guys.
So as the field comes back through turn 3, pace truck will pull in Andrew Elias, Michael Kruger, Justin Duran, Jonathan Parker, Alonso Chicano, Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Green flag is back in the air. We are back underway here at Pocono. Three wide going for second. Here comes Alonso Chicano to the inside. They're just about 4 wide, a little bit further back to 3 wide now. As you see them shaking around, battling. Elias currently holding steady, but Michael Kruger is there in second. Parker and Durant side by side for third, heading through the tunnel turn. See Andrew Elias in the truck, leading the field, continuing to hold strong as he'll hold off Michael Kruger for a lap at least. They try to break that draft. Kruger going to follow him all the way down. And you see how big and wide this front straightaway is as Elias trying to keep him off his tailgate. But here comes Kruger trying to make a move. He might dive to the inside. No, going to stay in line with Elias heading into turn 1.
So awesome seeing whenever the leader does it, seeing the entire top 5 drag with him all the way to the white paint. Here comes Kruger with a huge run off of turn 1. Can he set up this pass?
Going to the inside, into the tunnel turn, they go. Kruger trying to take the lead back away from Elias. He does it, makes it a clean pass, but Elias going to try to charge back on the exit. He's going to have a run to the inside, couldn't quite get there. That's going to allow Parker and Duran back in the picture. Here comes Parker for second again.
It looked like Elias got on the pile a little bit too early, just by a split second. He's going to allow Parker through, but defend from Justin Duran in third. It's going to be a side-by-side battle for the lead off of turn 3 with Elias right there in the wings.
They are all over the place. Everybody doing anything they can to go for this position. See Elias on the bottom. They're 3 wide now for what would be second. Parker is taking the lead. Kruger going to try to make a run on the top here.
Seeing the momentum of the top line work there for the 14 truck. Great camera work to Austin right there off of turn 1 and Kruger to the inside, but he has a much different approach for this turn. Turn number 2, this is the lane he wants to be in here.
He likes to go low and exit high. And he'll do so and he'll take the race lead back. Parker trying to peek back to the inside here heading into turn 3. Kruger's been rolling that top line pretty well in turn 3 to be able to hold on to this race lead. He'll get the momentum on the front stretch if he can make it stick. Parker's right there to his inside. We'll have to see who can get the better run. It looks like it might be Kruger this time. Coming to the line, yes, Kruger's going to hold off and lead a lap yet again.
Elias has struggled this last lap. He has fallen down to the 7th position, getting passed by David Duran and Alonso Chicano. Ethan Moreno has gotten up to the 4th position now.
Yeah, another, like we said, a great run so far tonight for Moreno. Up to 4th now, disappearing, having issues with connection. You see everybody fanning out, trying to make sure they miss him, not wanting to be the one that he pops up into. Oh, he's completely disappeared. He's not even popped back in. And that's just a heartbreaker there, though. Such a good run going, and just connection issues just take it all away like that.
Absolutely, that was a very, very unfortunate. He did probably a career night so far, I'd have to say. He did a great job just keeping his truck out of the way, really, and sneaking into the top 5 very early on and just staying there all night. Obviously, up until this unfortunate issue out of his hand completely.
But now you see Justin Duran has made the move for second on Parker. Going now to try to hunt back down Michael Kruger for the race lead. Something I'm noticing is here. When we look and see who's running where, look who's currently scored in the 4th position now after Moreno's disappearance. Alonso Chicano. You know, we talk about our defending series champion. Trouble spinning in the back! Joshua O'Connor, yeah, a hard hit into the inside wall, and the caution flag will fly for the 3rd time tonight, immediately towing it to pit road, and that will very well end his day.
It's not a flip, very close to being so. On the front straightaway here at Pocono, very peculiar crash. I saw the 2 trucks get together, another red truck, I'm not sure if it was Wesley Rose. He just got hooked there, all kinds of contact. 3 different trucks involved, and he was an innocent victim, it looks like.
He indeed did roll. It actually looks like he might have pushed a truck into another one, and that sent him for a flip. We're going to go on board with Brett Bennett. That small onboard camera. You see that pink truck down to the bottom? That is Joshua O'Connor. Yeah, he hit the back of that guy right there. Can't tell who that was, but that hit Brian Smith, and there you see just sent into the infield wall a little further back there.
I saw Brian Smith start spinning, and I thought he was going to go flying into the inside wall like O'Connor did, but it was instead the 59.
And looking to see who that is right there underneath Brian C. Smith. I believe that's a Ford of Nathan Fuller. That's who it looks like it was. You see there the contact we made right here. That'll jack the 4 up. It'll send him into Smith. Smith hits the wall and then just sends the 59 there into the infield. And that will end the day for Joshua O'Connor. But some good damage there to Brian Smith as well in the 54 truck.
And on that replay, we can see it set up there off of turn 3. O'Connor was just trying to get in line and tuck behind O'Connor and push him by Brian Smith. And 54 was beat up on both sides with the truck to that left side door and the wall to the right side. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this truck either suffer the rest of the race or Brian opt to fix it here on this yellow.
Yep, that Kung Pao truck took a pretty good pow there. Of course, the chosen one there on the side, a little scuffed up, but won't be any issue there for him. He'll be able to make his way back to recovery and maybe make a charge at a top 10 here at the end of this race. But right now, it's Michael Kruger leading the way. Of course, he won the stage. Justin Durant second. Jonathan Parker is third. And Alonso Chicano fourth. And running at the top 10 right now, not top 5 right now, is David Duran. And we'll see some guys coming up pit road here. They're going to top off on fuel, make sure they can get to the end of this race. So we'll have to see how things cycle out as they roll it down pit road. Man, I mean it, everybody's on pit road right now. See the tires go down. There's Chicano pulling away. Kruger pulling away. Race off pit road as it stands. I believe Parker beat Kruger, or Chicano off, excuse me. Very close race between the two of them. Then it's Duran, 4th and 5th. Andrew Elias coming off 6th. Matthew Stotts is off 7th. Looks like everybody took tires and fuel. Nobody tried anything alternate. They all went the same way. With the race off pit road won by Michael Kruger. As we see the field coming down the Long Pond backstretch, they'll be going to green this next time by. And you know, something I want to talk about, you know, that I'm seeing here. You know, I started to touch on it there when we were getting into it. Talking about Alonso Chicano, you know, currently scored 3rd right now in the season. Third right now in the race, I should say, excuse me. He's on his 3rd season in the league. But man, has it been a season of misery, I would say. As we see the choose cone there, Kruger and Chicano to the bottom. But it's definitely been a championship hangover season for Alonso Chicano. I mean, besides the win that he had, he's only got 2 other top 10s. 3rd place finish at Auto Club and the 6th place finish at Kentucky. Everything else, I mean, a 15th at Daytona, 18th at Las Vegas, 16th at Dover, and 15th at Nashville. It has just not been a good season so far for Alonso in the 25 machine.
Yeah, and also another uncharacteristic thing about Alonso's season so far is he is all the way down 11th in the standings coming into this race. Granted, he's missed 2 races, but still the results he's had has not put him into a good, comfortable spot in the points at all. He has that win to be safe for the postseason at this time, but it's going to be pretty hard task for him to overcome that in the playoffs without a ton of playoff points.
Yeah, it's been just an uncharacteristic season, I think. You know, I think something's just trying to figure something out, but I think, too, it's the other drivers have started to figure things out as well to be able to catch up and stay with him. But very much a different season for that 25, a championship hangover, if you will. You know, something I can compare it to there, you know, it's almost like a realistic situation. You know, Kyle Busch's 2020 season after winning the championship, you know, wins one race and has a statistically worst season, you know, that he's had for a while in his career. So very well could be a thing we see with Chicano. But right now, we're worried about the race going on now. Kruger, Parker, the front row, leading the field to the green. You see that inside line is just bare and empty, but the race leader's down there with them. Green flag is back out. We're racing again here at Pocono, and you see Kruger's going to jump back up to the top. It looks like Chicano's going to stay bottom. Justin Duran trying to the bottom as well. They're going to be battling 3 wide back there. Back to 2 wide maybe, but Andrew Elias is trying to make it work. He can't get there. Durand is there with Chicano on his back bumper, and there's Jonathan Parker on the outside there. You see Elias dropping back. I saw Tyler Watermullen spin down to the bottom. Not surprised about that as we continue down the back straightaway. The battle for the lead still heating up. Now Chicano's going to take his shot at the lead, but look at the run that David Durand's going to carry into the tunnel turn.
Well, Ice nearly did what Watermelon did off of turn 1, lit the rear tires up on the power, but he did a great job saving that machine. He's fallen well outside the top 10. He's in 11th with a battle against Ryan Bogey. This battle for second rages on with David Duran right on the deck lid of Alonso Chicano. Michael Kruger up to a second lead trying to break that draft.
Doing everything to maintain this race lead again. If he can try to lead the most laps too, those are some bonus points he can get towards his cutoff battle with Jonathan Parker right now. He needs everything he can get to try and go for that regular season championship. Again, we mentioned, you know, only a few more races, handful of races left until we hit that playoff. Oh, spinning Chicano!
Oh. Battle with the Duran brothers. Through turn 2, the last lap they went through there, all 3 of them just sent it in there, and they lost a ton of time to Kruger because that's where Kruger had his 1 second lead, and you see the engine expired in this 25 after that big hit to the inside wall.
What looked like it was going to be a good day has gone sour. That's the announcer's jinx, I would say there. But Alonso Chicano, an incident off the tunnel turn, sends him in for the race. So let's see if we can get a look back at what happened before the driver of the 25 machine is in progress. And he's coming into the tunnel turn here. He's leading over the Duran brothers. They are battling for this position. This is for second. And I don't know if he got any help. Well, he got a little loose at first, and then Duran just helped finish it off. And then a pretty good hit there into the inside wall. And that's what does in Alonso Chicano's day. And then, of course, Celsius lift fit onboard camera. You can hear it already getting loose, and then he just gets a tap there from David. Just had no other choice there, and then a pretty good hit. Didn't seem like a good enough hit, actually, to maybe damage the engine, but indeed it did. Billowing smoke there for Alonso Chicano.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like that big of an impact to the wall like we saw, say, Kruger in the qualifying session. In that same spot actually, but it still destroyed the engine, and unfortunately his night is over. Regardless, was a big hit, but still, like you mentioned, not one I would expect to DNF someone like that, especially like we kept saying, running as high as he was tonight, and just the way they've been racing tonight, so hard up front.
It's definitely been a thing. You see a lot of guys coming to pit road.
I faked them out, but Elias definitely committed another trick, I think. But Dalton Kelly was one of the guys to fake them all out right there.
Yeah, there was a queue that pit. It looks like Elias, Gracias, and Smith came down pit road. Of course, Chicano has disconnected, already has left the session. I want to see if we can get a word in with him. Looks like he has already departed for the night. He is completely out of here. So, looks like no word from the defending series champion, Alonso Chicano. Wrecked out here. Just over halfway into the race. What do you say we try to pull in Current second place runner. Let's see if we can get a hold of David Durand here under this caution. Hey, David Durand, this is Dawson and Dawson Nanup in the booth. Get a copy.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Alrighty, currently running second there. Obviously, contact with Alonso, your teammate, that wound up sending him in for the night. What is your perspective from that incident?
What happened was he wasn't expecting I was accelerating a little bit earlier than what he was anticipating, and then he started to accelerate at the same time, and he just got loose, and I just had nowhere to go. I wasn't even on the throttle when his car was out of shape, so I feel bad for him because we were going to work together and try to go get Kruger, so it sucks. So right now we're just trying to save some tires, save some fuel, and try to make it to the end so we can get a good result.
Yeah, you're running second right now, coming up on the choose this time, but you know, you have a win so far at Daytona, and you had a really good run in practice and a really good run in qualifying. What are you looking for here as we've passed halfway of this race?
Let's hope it goes green the rest of the way. This Napa truck is pretty good on the long run, so if we can go green the rest of the way, we should be there in the end.
Alrighty, well, David, we'll let you go back with your team. We hope to talk to you later. Good luck the rest of the race.
Thank you, Dawson.
And that was David Durand, the driver of the number 24 Napa Chevy Silverado. But you saw that choose cone there. Kruger to the bottom, David to the top. Swapped it back and forth, back and around through the field there. You see Dalton Kelly is up to 5th. Matthew Stott 6th. Brett Bennett 7th. That's Nate Fuller in 8th. And you see those guys pulling on that apron off the bank and trying to save as much fuel as they can because they want to try to make it to the end of this race. Yeah, that's what David said, trying to save fuel. It's going to be a big push to save fuel and tires at the end of this race. If we keep having these cautions, it very well could backfire. We'll have to see. Come around through 3, getting ready to go back green. Kruger, Durand, Parker, Kelly, Stotts, Bennett, Fuller, Coppernoll, Bogey. What a top 10 here as the pace truck is going to pull off and give the field back in the hands of Michael Kruger to the Geico restart zone. The green flag is back out. We are back underway here at Pocono. Look at them fanning out here, trying to do everything they can to get any spot they can. Durand to the inside of brother Durand. It's the battle of the family, the battle of the blood. Justin versus David for second. Looks like Justin's going to pull out in front as of right now. David's going to slot into third in the outside lane, but he'll try to fan back to the bottom. Michael Kruger goes as well. Jonathan Parker there, fourth in the outside, but look at Dalton Kelly there, up in the 5th spot, trying to make some moves here in the top 5, mixing it up with the leaders. David to second, Kelly to 4th.
Yeah, mentioned Kelly. First time he's been in the top 5 all night, and he just made that power move on Jonathan Parker right there to get in that position off of turn 2. And here he is through turn 3, right on the back bumper of Justin Durand now, trying to chase that 5 truck.
Yeah, doing everything he can. Right now, sitting 4th. He's had kind of a quiet season here, Dalton Kelly has. But definitely looking to see if he can mix it up and go for career win number 2, as you see that number 45, Joseph Straley Circle beat Diecast Ford F-150. We saw him in a Toyota last year, but that's kind of changed. It looked like maybe somebody got the wall there on the exit of 1. But yeah, Dalton Kelly running 4th right now. A very good run here tonight for that SBLD 45.
He's been another guy tonight running a higher lane than everyone else almost the entirety of this race, and it's been paying him really good results, making positions work. But the biggest thing right now, of course, was getting all those positions on the restart with the choose cone. But right now he's under fire from Jonathan Parker for that 4th position back. We'll see if he's going to be able to hang on to this top 5 run so far for the last half of this race.
So far, so good. Matthew Stott 6th, Brett Bennett 7th. How about Josh Coppernold running 8th? I was giving him a bunch of crap a couple weeks ago after my run in Kentucky, and right now he's looking to match it as he runs in the 8th position. But you see, he's got to battle Brett Bennett and hold off Nathan Fuller, and there's still plenty of race to go.
Strange race for this JCTV Silverado. He started shotgun on the field and was hanging way back at the start after his teammate Wesley Rose pretty much botched the start of his first of the season. I think he missed the green flag, so Josh just kind of hung out back with him for the start, and slowly, very slowly but surely, he has made his way up through the field, like you mentioned, that 8th position now, and he's just making his time, going at his own rate right now tonight.
He's definitely looking to see if he can top that finish ahead there, that 8th, you know. Very few races I run now after I've taken over. See, a little loose on the off corner exit there. Might have gotten hit in the back. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, I've run very few races. I've taken over for this so Josh can race. And we've seen him, we've had a little bit of friendly banter about that, about who can finish higher where. But right now, the top is 8th by me, and Josh is looking to match it or beat it tonight. He's on good pace to do it. So I'd love to see him get it done, but I also don't really want to see him get it done. Right now, up front, though, the battle is for the lead. Michael Kruger only holds about almost a 4/10 of a second lead over David Durand. Justin now falling into the grasp of Dalton Kelly. That's for 3rd, a little bit further back.
Yeah, the battle for 3rd's really heating up. That 4th position has swapped the last couple laps between Kelly and Parker, and they are all over the back of this 5 truck for this position now. That is 3rd, like you mentioned.
See the field fanning down to the bottom. Durand, and Kruger. Kelly and Parker kind of staying a little bit higher up, but they're going to try to make a run to the outside of that 5 machine if they can get it to stick. Right now, the battle for 3rd, Kelly and Durand. Durand holding steady for the position right now, but it looks like Kelly going to try to set the run up off the exit. Indeed, he will. And you see back there a little further back as well, battle for position. How about Brett Bennett now popping into the picture?
Kelly with a phenomenal job taking that 3rd position away from Justin Durand, and there is Bennett taking that position away from Matthew Stotts for P6.
Those SPL boys have found something because they are starting to work through the field, picking things apart. You know, we saw a good run from them together at Dover, I believe, last season. You know, the only one that really was able to challenge him for a while there was Carl Felver. And it took a late caution to really wipe that out and open the door for Michael Kruger to win that race. But right now, Dalton Kelly 3rd. He's got to win. But you talk about wins, you can't talk about that without talking about winless. Brett Bennett is still hunting for his first career win here. You see behind him, Matthew Stotts getting a little loose. But yeah, Brett Bennett right now still on the hunt for his first career win here in the Independence News Truck Series. But up ahead, you see a guy battling, 2 guys battling for their 2nd. Michael Kruger, I believe, is looking for his 5th tonight if he can end it in victory lane. They continue on trying to hunt down Michael Kruger. It looks like Dalton Kelly is making that top work. He is putting in the work to get around that number 24 of David Durand. You see Stott struggling again here, trying everything he can to make it work.
This 45 truck has been really fun to watch this stint pretty much. He has been, like you mentioned, making it work to get around David Durand right now. If he can, very loose there off its 2-2, snapped there. Lost a bunch of time to that 24, a little bit of time I should say to that 24. But he's going to be continuing to run that wall right here in turn 3, or at least a much higher line compared to everyone else. Not close to the wall, but way up the track compared to everyone. And he seems to be one of the fastest trucks on the track. Just judging by the eyeball test, he has been making inroads on Kruger's lead, and then a little mistake like we saw a moment ago would just wipe it away, and he has to make it all up again. And we see a battle for 4th heating up.
Battle between Justin Durand and Jonathan Parker. Durand trying to follow Dalton Kelly on the top, but Durand is going to lose that spot to Parker, as you see Parker will take over the 4th position, and they're still chasing down Michael Kruger. It looks like Durand is closing in slowly. He's been able to roll up a little bit faster every lap, and now he's kind of closed up and made things a little more tense here for Michael Kruger.
P6, you mentioned Matthew Stotts making his truck work against Brett Bennett. He is another one running up a little bit high. He just ran that higher line through 1 and 2 for 2 and 1 for the first time I think I've seen him tonight. So very good job there on getting on Brett Bennett. The result just a scatter of trucks going to turn 1 3 wide for this position. couple laps ago, Nathan Fuller came to the pits. I thought he was going to come down and take service. Instead, he parked the truck. He's gone 2 laps down. I think he's done for the night. He was in the top 15 in that big battle we saw a couple laps ago. And here comes David Durand, poking his nose to the inside into the tunnel turn against Michael Kruger for the race lead.
Couldn't quite do it. He overdrove the corner. That opened the door for Parker. Here comes Jonathan Parker now. And I want to say, I think that entire time I went through those stats, it looked like my mic was muted. Oh well, battle for the lead. Here comes Parker to the inside of Kruger. Somehow, some way, the mic got muted. I don't know how it was. I don't know how long it was muted. The Strictly Stats, Fast Facts happened. They're done. Durand looking for his 10th top 10 of the season in 10 races. He is currently running third, but he's also looking to go 2 in a row after scoring his first career win at Kentucky, as he has made it by brother David. The battle for the lead is now a 4-truck breakaway from the rest of the field. Parker looking to check out on the field. Going to do everything he can. He's going to have to do it for 13 more laps. Kruger and the Durands are going to try to run him down if they can. But they're going to have to work together if they want to try to hunt him down and go for it. Right now, being side by side for second just isn't going to work.
No, absolutely not. And the way Parker drove through the top 4 was just great work. He slowly, methodically got by each one of them. And you see it being on the back foot is Michael Kruger right now leading the majority of this race up to this point. And now he's in a heavy battle for the third position, with both of the Durands. Thought he was going to go to 4th there with David on his inside, but he has taken that 3rd position and settled there for the moment. But he is going to be probably fighting this track for the rest of the way. If they can't catch Parker, it might be a battle for second here.
Jonathan Parker looking for his 3rd win of the season, his 3rd career win. He's currently at a stalemate with Michael Kruger, both with 2 wins on the season. We've had 6 drivers find their way to victory lane this year, and the top 4 have all made it to victory lane. I see a truck going down pit road, not quite sure who that was. Might have been Noah Mayuri finally pulling it in for the rest of this race, or he might have been out of fuel. But you see, they're trying to run a higher line there in turn 1 for the Durands and Kruger. Then Parker is. It's just not quite working. They are still on the chase. They're not able to fully pull up. Durand was faster only slightly that lap. But coming up now, 11 laps to go. Battle for 3rd. David Durand to the inside of Kruger. He is going to make it work. And look who's creeped into the picture. Matthew Stotts is here. Brett Bennett is closed up as well in this group. So we've got about a 6, maybe almost, well, actually just a 6-car tango happening right now. If Bennett can continue to close the gap. I noticed Coppernoll is back to 11th. So possibly some issues for the 42 as he continues to get past. But 11 laps remaining.
Dustin's doing a great job not letting Parker drive away as much as we thought Parker was, especially if they were going to keep racing for that 2nd position amongst themselves. That battle between the Durands and Kruger was pretty fierce there for a couple corners, but Justin just hanging about half a second behind Jonathan, while he is about half a second ahead of David. So this could be very comfortable for this 5-truck just to ride there and try and settle in and let the 81 come to him. While this battle for 3rd is not over yet with Stotts closing in.
David Durand got the wall a little bit there off of the turn 2, the tunnel turn there. He was able to recover. He still holds on to 3rd. Meanwhile, talking about recovering, how about stumbling? Dalton Kelly back to 7th right now. He was up to 3rd at one point. He's fallen back to 7th. The truck's finally gotten away from him a little bit, it looks like. But we'll have to see how they can hold off and how the rest of the field can play out as they hunt down Parker with 10 laps remaining here in the Mardon 150. It's been talked about a lot this season. about how good Jonathan Parker has been. Coming into here, it's his first season. He's a rookie. 2 wins on the season, has led the most laps, and has, just really put a stamp on, maybe being a championship favorite. As he leads the field here, I want to say it's because of that low sticker on the bottom. Little bias there, but I think it's that low sticker there on that quarter panel that's really helping him and keeping him some speed and helping him get away with these wins. To see him leading the field by 0.8 of a second now.
Battle for fifth has changed hands. Britt Bennett has gotten the spot, but Matthew Sutts is still going for it into the tunnel turn. Has to think better of it. Can't get to the inside of the 47 truck there. Brett made the pass off of turn 1 and did a great job. And here is Ethan Moreno right behind them, couple laps down. And these guys are comfortably 2 seconds over Dalton Kelly.
Yeah, Stott struggled a little bit there. That last lap by a lot slower. Had allowed Bennett to close up and now climb into the top 5. But you see up ahead, Parker is now a second ahead of second place. Justin and David Durand looking to see if they can make something work and make a miracle happen here in the foothills of the Pocono Mountains. They've got their work cut out for them. They're going to have to make a lot of headway these next couple laps if they want to hunt down race leader Jonathan Parker. See there, a better back straightaway there for Durand, but then Parker is just so much better in 2 and 3 that he's able to just put the gap on between the two of them. And you see there the exit of turn 3, just putting more time between himself and the Durand brothers. As we hit 7 to go this time by, see the field's pretty much stretched out here, kind of going single file down the straightaway. Not a lot of action going on. Everybody's just kind of riding now, trying to get to the end of this race.
Closest on-track battle, I think, is going to be the battle for 11th between Josh Coppino, Alex Coffin, and Cameron Caldwell, all within half a second of one another, just outside the top 10.
Yeah, Coppino right now 11th, Curfin 12th. I believe Caldwell's 13th. Battling. It's all about the lead. Parker continuing to gap the 5 and 24 as we hit 6 laps to go. Field is just so spread out here. Not a lot of action happening. Everybody just kind of riding where they are. The closest battle we have, it looks like, is the battle for 5th between Stotts and Bennett. It's about 0.6 of a second. The gap, 0.5 separate, or a good gaps battle here between Dalton Kelly, Jason Grassi, Andrew Elias, Ryan Bogie, all gap within about maybe 2 seconds of each other. Outside of that, it's all Jonathan Parker leading the charge here, with the Durand brothers sitting in second. Just 5 laps remaining here at Pocono. You see Gracias now has closed the gap on Dalton Kelly. That is for the 7th position. You see Gracias will go down to the bottom to make this pass work if he can. And we're used to Gracias really, when he shows up in these races, coming in and just being a force to be reckoned with. But he has been very much nowhere tonight. This is the highest he has been all night tonight. He has just not been able to put together a good run. You see Dalton Kelly in the wall trying to run the top. It's just...
Real quick on Gracias, I think this is historically the biggest track we've seen him compete on in this league. Usually he only runs on the short tracks where he's been dominant, like you mentioned, but nowhere tonight. He is still trying to get, and I don't know if he'd still get comfortable with these trucks tonight. Very, very put time in these machines. But you mentioned it, very off pace tonight compared to what we usually see out of him. While this battle for second between the brothers has heated up a little bit. about a tenth of a second going into turn 1 between the two of them.
Yeah, we're so used to seeing Gracias up front, dominating races, leading laps. Like I said, 600 something laps led last year. So we're definitely used to seeing him up front in these races, not out in the back, just kind of hidden away from everything. But like you said, though, I mean, it is a big track. He's not normally, here. These bigger tracks, so it's not a shock that he might be struggling to really get up to speed with everything and get going in the swing of things. But right now, the battle for second now between the Duran brothers, Justin and David. See David to the inside, making the move on Justin. If he can get there, he'll take the second spot. Ooh, just about dooring each other as they head down the front stretch. I think they've realized they're not getting up to the lead, so they might as well fight it out for second. David to the inside here, trying to clear up in front. Can't quite get there. Justin got the nose on him.
And we've said it all night, that's just the power of running a little bit higher lane here off of turn 1. Into turn 2, David's got the much preferred lane though, and Justin's going to have to give way and try and cross him over on the exit.
Still an ongoing battle between these two brothers, swapping the position back and forth here for second. Could easily play dividends for David. Justin's a little bit more firmly in the top 10 top 10 in points, I believe they're in, or is the top 8 and then 2 wild cards. Whichever way it is, Justin is safe. And you see trucks to the wall in the back. Ryan Bogey, Andrew Elias battling for position. Both of them slamming the wall on the exit of 3. They're able to continue, but right now we're still watching the battle between Justin and David because David is a little bit further out, so he definitely needs a good run tonight to really close back that gap.
Yeah, those trucks in the wall, they have caught, or they had caught Dalton Kelly, who we saw on the wall a couple laps ago. Sure, the 45's heavily damaged. They were trying to take advantage of him. Here comes David swinging back on the inside of Justin for P2.
Still an ongoing battle. It looks like David might be able to clear. Justin's trying to get a run off the corner. Can't quite get it done. So now, coming around this time, Jonathan Parker is getting ready to take the white flag. One more lap here at Pocono for the Mardon 150. And Jonathan Parker, of course, 2 wins so far in his career, looking for number 3 of the year and of his career. He's been here only 1 season, but he's making a name for himself for sure. Looking through the rest of the top 10, David and Justin battle for second continuing. Michael Kruger 4th. Brett Bennett with a top 5 run right now. Matthew Stotts, Jason Gracias. How about Ryan Bogey, Dalton Kelly, and Andrew Elias? Heading down the back straightaway for the final time, Jonathan Parker, easily cementing himself as the championship favorite. He was up 19 points over Michael Kruger coming into this race. He's going to get a better gap now with this win coming through turn 3 for the final time. It'll be Jonathan Parker who will get it done. He'll win the Mardon 150 at Pocono.
Great drive out of that 81 machine in that final stint, Dawson. When he took the lead, I mentioned just the way he was able to cut through the top 5. Made every pass slowly, one at a time, of course, and he just waited for them to all come to him. And Michael Kruger, the dominant truck of the day, fell off completely there in the last half of that final stint, and Parker was there to take advantage of it.
Yeah, he was there, and he was able to take advantage of it, and he is now a 3-time winner in the In the Pits News Truck Series. 3rd time this season, 3rd time in his career. Jonathan Parker is going to victory lane for the first race. The In the Pits News Truck Series runs at Pocono. So as he cycles around here, see Ryan Bogey there. Believe their teammates coming up to him. Looks like they're setting up to do a double burnout together, heading down towards the start-finish line. So we'll pull that back up for your viewing pleasure as he gets ready to do some celebratory donuts. And while he celebrates, Adam, what do you say we get a hold of our third place finisher?
Let's see if we can get him in here. Hey, Justin, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, it was the third place run tonight. What more did you need to beat Jonathan and David up there in that last stint?
Just be able to manage tires better. Didn't really have the long run pace to get up there the lead like Jonathan did. And then as David, I made a few mistakes in one. He caught me through the draft and was able to get by me. So that was a good battle there. But I don't. Third was way better finish than what I expected coming into this. I don't really care for Pocono. It's too much of a draft fest, but all in all, good run tonight.
Yeah, how was it out there? A lot of competitiveness up front, especially in the top five all race long. First race we've been here, so did you think from your seat all night?
I just really was who had the clean air. Even with the draft, you were able to kind of break the lines, kind of IndyCar style. I don't know if Michael just burned up his stuff or realized he didn't have enough gas. It was fun up front though. A lot of passing or crossovers. It was a fun race though. Better than what I probably anticipated coming in tonight.
Darlington next week, so what do you have to look forward to that?
I'm just hoping not to hit the wall. I've never ran well there. It's unfortunate it's on the schedule. Could have had Texas, right, Michael? Um, I don't know. That'll be a big tire management race as well. I just hope it's clean.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for taking time and talking with us, and congrats again on third place run tonight.
Appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week.
Absolutely. Thanks, Justin, our third place finisher tonight, and Dawson, believe you're with David.
From one Durand to the other, we go to our second place finisher, David. You were able to get by your brother there in the late stages of that race, but you come up just short of the win. What was that race like for you from the driver's seat?
It was a little interesting. I mean, a little scary at the end, around like lap 45, where the car just got really tight and shut off the racetrack in a tunnel turn, and luckily we didn't hit anybody. But I mean, to come a second, this is one of my favorite tracks, and to get second out of this is pretty good. I mean, something with 2.5-mile tracks, I guess I have really good success. So, I mean, we'll take it. I mean, it sucks we didn't get the win, but you know, in the long run, we had speed, just didn't have enough laps to go get Parker.
Yep, and you were able to still pull in a second place finish, though. It's really good. It's a bit of a rebound, I'd say. You were kind of not really dropping off, but it's kind of been back and forth this season on good runs and bad runs. But do you think this could build momentum towards having a good stretch of races heading up to those next plate races at Talladega in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're really strong over there, and we got Darlington next week, which that's a very tricky track. So we have our work cut out for ourselves. But I mean, I think if we can get a maybe top 10 on that track, then build momentum in the 2 Talladega races, I think we'll be in good shape.
Alrighty, well, a second place finish. Anybody want to shout out their drivers, sponsors, who got it done for you?
just you guys doing the broadcast. You guys do a really, really good job, and I've watched it. I have a chance to watch it all the time on the replays. So if I'm bored, I like to watch you guys just go at it. So you guys keep doing a good job, and it's well appreciated. And just thank Cam Caldwell, for having to be on his team and racing with Justin and Alonzo and Kerfan and all those guys. It's a pleasure racing with them, and so we'll see what happens for next week at Darlington.
Alrighty, well, a second place finish, hoping to build some momentum, heading towards the playoffs and heading towards the tricky track known as Darlington. Congrats on that second place finish, David.
Thank you, Dawson.
And Adam, I believe you have our race winner.
Yeah, hey Jonathan Pelka, congrats on the victory. You got a copy?
Thank you. I do have a copy.
Well, you were able to get the win here tonight in Pocono. You drove up through the top 5 pretty much late in that last stint. How was the truck being able to go through the field? We heard a lot of guys mention Clean Air being so dominant tonight, and Michael Kruger dominated the show, but it ended up being you in victory lane here.
Yeah, these guys did not make it easy on me. They were working the draft really well, and I was kind of outnumbered. So in that last run, or what I was hope was the last run, and it ended up being the last run. So I just had to save my tires. I could not sit there side by side burning it up or just trying to get the lead. I had to play the long game because Clean Air was very important. It was pretty tough to pass unless you save tires. But I'm just happy to get a win at my home racetrack. It feels feels really good.
And you're able to do it from the pole position, but you didn't lead a lot early. I think you only led maybe the opening lap, and then stayed right in the top 5, but was battling with those guys all night long. What was the racing like, especially that when just swapping positions back and forth?
Yeah, these guys are really, really aggressive. It always catches me off guard at the beginning of the races. So the first couple laps, I'm like, oh, well, just chill out. And it wasn't. It was all dogs go right at the start. So I just kind of had to adjust to that. And it got me behind the 8 ball almost the whole race. And it almost cost me, but I had to. They really laid a fight to me. It wasn't easy.
Well, we got Darlington next week, so what do you have to look forward to that when we head there next weekend?
I've never driven the trucks at Darlington, so that's gonna be an interesting experience to say the least. But excited for the challenge.
And before we let you go, who do you like to shout out after a great performance tonight and stealing that victory here?
I'd like to thank all the league admins and Cam for making my paint scheme. Thank you for letting me race. It means a lot, and just like to thank basically just all my friends. They really support me through all this.
Congrats again on the victory, and look forward to talking to you next weekend.
All right, thank you.
So race winner Jonathan Pelka here tonight, Dawson.
Yep, and a great performance by him, but I want to talk to one more person here as well. We got him here with us. Might as well bring him in. Mr. Josh Coppernol was able to bring it home 11th. Josh, what happened at the end there?
Man, first of all, I just want to say, I don't know why, but 11th seems to be the only place I can finish in this league. But no, I had a fun battle with Caldwell and Kerfan there at the end. They were definitely faster than me, but it was so hard to pass. And I knew that if I just ran a higher line when they were underneath me, they wouldn't be able to pass me unless if I completely screwed it up. So we fell back. Actually, we were inside the top 10, but I had a little bit of contact with Bogey and got me sideways. I think it was my fault. He was passing somebody, and I just wasn't expecting him to also be underneath me. And I come down, got sideways, had a super awesome save. And unfortunately, it cost me some time, but yeah, that was a fun race. I wish I finished inside the top 10, but 11th after battling with two of the best with Caldwell and Kerfan, I will absolutely take it.
All right, well, that allows me to keep bragging rights, though. You were running 8th for a bit, and I was kind of worried, but finally you were able to drop back to your normal resting spot of 11th. So, but still a good run, Josh. And Darlington next week, are you running that? Are you excited to run that?
Shoot, no. Darlington, it's that track has always been tough for me. It is the track too tough to tame. The Lady in Black, I mean, it's That track is absolutely a beast. So we're gonna definitely have to put our work in to try to get our truck running there and hopefully finish in one piece. But if Watermullen is there, I think both him and I are going to have a competition to see who can get the most Darlington stripes.
Alrighty, well, Josh Coppernoll, 11th tonight. Absolutely looking forward to watching you race Darlington.
We'll give it our best shot, that's for sure.
And alrighty, with that then, we see the end of race 10 here, season 3, the In the Pits News Truck Series at Pocono. Adam, what's your final takeaway from this race?
Well, very chaotic there. Like we just heard from all the drivers, pretty much the starts were frantic, and it was great to see the battling up at the front all night. Very competitive, much more competitive than I thought it was going to be throughout the entire show. And it was great seeing all the drafting moves. A little different race than what we were used to, accustomed to seeing here in this league. A little different, of course, though, but that's what we're going to get when we come to the place for the first time. And Pocono is a track a lot of people know, and a lot of people grew up watching, so it was a bit of a different race.
Yeah, indeed it was. But I want to look at something here while we are here, before we go off the air. There was an incident post-race that happened. This was at the conclusion of the race. This is Ethan Fonseca Moreno and Brett Bennett. Moreno was 2 laps down. Bennett was on the lead lap. This was after the checkered flag. Apparently there were some words exchanged between the two of them during the race. But you'll see here, Bennett will pull to the inside, and the 43 just hooks it right into the 47 of Brett Bennett. You see slide through the infield grass right there. Interesting.
Dawson,
To say
yeah,
the
Dawson,
least.
this is very notable because of the clean driver bonus, and that eliminated Brett Bennett from it, and that's why he is very upset, because he had a 0XR race going for him up until that moment post-race.
And you saw Brett Bennett try to get some payback on him, but wound up taking out Dalton Kelly instead. And that could credit Dalton Kelly with another 4X. He has 8X on the race, so he wasn't going to get it anyways, but that's big for Brett at least, because that takes away the clean driver bonus more than likely. But we'll have to see how that is ruled, but definitely an interesting situation all around. But at the end of the day, Brett Bennett's still able to score a top 5 finish out of it. So with that all being said, actually, yeah, that'll do it here for us on JCTV for the Mardon 150. Tune in next week, Darlington. That will be the fun one, the throwback race. All the drivers bringing out those old school paint schemes. It'll be a fun one, and I think it'll be a fun race as well, because that track is too tough to tame. That is for sure. So, with Adam Kuhn, with Josh Coppernoll, this is Dawson Allen signing off here. Somebody is making a lot of noise. But we're going to go ahead and sign off here. For all of us at JCTV, this is Dawson Allen saying so long and have a good rest of your night.